All right, guys, I'm going to review BMX Action March 1986 today. As usual, I do not have the cover, so I did get the cover for this one off Google. This particular magazine is on sale on eBay for $49.99. Wow, I was kind of surprised about that. But anyway, let's get into it. Okay, I'm a little excited to do this one because in 1986, I was probably between 15 and 16 years old, and I felt like I was kind of at my peak at racing because, I think every kid from the 80s kind of went through it. Like you would go, you're really, really fast up until the point you start driving. And, back then we all wanted to start driving, so it would change things for us. We're like, uh-oh, I'm into driving and I'm not riding my bike absolutely everywhere like I was at one point. But anyway, that's a whole other story. Let's get into this magazine. So check it out. Now, this first page, it's cut off, and I apologize because I don't have the cover, so it would open up like this. But this particular ad, this is the Haro Group 1 RS1. I'm going to attach some photos here in a second. I'll probably put it up here in the corner. But you can see I bought this bike based on this ad. I saw this ad for this particular bike and I went nuts. I was all about Skyway. I was riding Skyways the whole time. And there's my Skyway right there. I still have one and my GHP, of course. But I was all about Skyway. I saw this in the magazine and I go, oh man, Mike King was racing it. Pete Lonkarovich was racing it. And it was love at first sight when I saw this. Now, when I ordered the bike, it came in a little bit different looking than this one. For example, the pedals were definitely different. It had more of a bear trap style pedal on it. They weren't Sun Tours, but they looked just like them. And eventually, I switched them out for actual Sun Tours. And my handlebars, although they look like this, these are the Haro handlebars. They were blue. They were a baby blue, so they matched the frame color. And the grips were white, just like that. It had a laid back seat post, but when I ordered the bike, I ordered it from a bike shop in San Lorenzo, California, and I don't remember what it was called. But the guy asked me, is there anything on here you don't want? And I said, I'd rather have a straight seat post. So he put a straight seat post on it. It has a white Dominator seat. You really can't see it, but I switched that out almost right away. I put a black seat on it. And I left the white grips on there for a hot minute, but eventually turned them black because the white grips got dirty almost immediately. And this power disc, mine looked different than this one. I can't recall exactly how it looked. It was more of a spider. But what ended up happening with these cranks is I cracked them. I raced the bike like 3 times and I cased a jump. I was jumping a set of doubles and I cased the second jump and I cracked the cranks. So I ended up having to take the bike back to the bike shop and we showed them that they were cracked. The bike shop owner said, I'm going to take the cranks off and I'm going to send them back to Haro so they basically want to do R&D on it to see why did they break, what caused them to break. And all I did was case a jump and it broke. My mom ended up buying me a pair of profile cranks for this bike. So I had essentially this bike, different color handlebars. I changed the grips to black, straight seat post, put a Cashmec seat on it, and it had profile cranks on it. And after that, it was just like perfect for me. You can see the pictures on it. I'm going to attach them after I do the video. But anyway, let's get moving. All right, here we go. First ad, Anlum BMX Pro stems. Don't recall this one, but these look pretty cool. They got good color combos, your typical red, blue, black, nothing gold, but they look pretty good. I wonder what happened to a lot of these companies. Sometimes I kind of want to deep dive it a little bit and see where did they go? What happened to them? We got Coastal Bike Supply, Daylewin Grips. I've never seen these before either, but as I do these reviews, it's funny because I kind of would just go right past these ads and then I look at later and I go, oh wow, that's kind of cool. I wonder what that was all about. Okay, let's keep moving. All right, so let's get started. We got Mike Miranda here. And Mike Miranda just did a race in Southern California. I believe it was in Temecula. They called it the Dirty Fest. I was watching it on YouTube. The video just came out, I think on Friday. I was watching it, and it was really good. It looked like a lot of fun. I saw that they were talking about it a lot on his podcast, which is the Dirty Knobs podcast. And apparently it came out really good. Like I saw a lot of the video footage. It's definitely worth checking out on YouTube. I definitely recommend it. And who in the world is that? Oh, does it say anywhere in here? Cullinan the Destroyer, a gladiator of sorts, no fear of flying, hyper 25 hours a day. He is disappointed. He was disappointed the new Haro survived. Oh, so he's testing the new Haro on that one. Let's get into it. Okay, GT ad. Now remember, this is 1986. I think last time we did 84, so the bikes are going to get a little bit better and a little bit more advanced. You can see on this stem, that's kind of a new look. Yeah, that's different. And what was that called? I don't even remember. It doesn't say in here. Oh, it says right here. Mach 1, more aggressive. Even more aggressive with 86 was 100% chromoly GT frame and fork. Oh, okay, it's talking about the Mach 1. Never mind. So here's your Mach 1, and then here's your GT Interceptor. And so you could see how they did this. It starts with the Interceptor, and then you kind of graduate up to the Mach 1, and then eventually you have your Pro Series bike. So I'm not sure what the prices are on these. Obviously, this one's going to be the more pricier one. This is the top of the line. Again, with the one-piece cranks, though, it's kind of disappointing. But the rest of the bikes, they look great. Even for this, if you take a look at the Interceptor, that's like a quality entry-level bike. I love it. And then, of course, the Mach 1 was a really good quality mid-level bike. Love this one, though. All right, let's get further. Look at Tommy Brackens up in the corner. Just listened to another interview with him on Lane 8 podcast. It was a two-parter. Great, great, great. I'd recommend you go back and listen to that. Okay, the 1986 Redlines, simply awesome. Of course, we got RL. This bike looks just like the one he was riding during Rad. I like that a lot. That's a really nice looking bike, and I love the Peregrine style tough wheels on here. That looks really cool. Unless these were Skyways. Not sure, guys. You'll have to correct me on that one. I'm not sure. But everything looks cool. You got your 500C, RL20A, RL20, 600CXL. Looks like they're mixing up, and then you have your 800P, which is the top of the line race bike. $625. Comes with Redline flights, though. Nice bike. Really nice one. This one was $700 as is. And you can see this is I'm not, like I said, not a freestyle guy. I've said it a million times. But you know, you've got all these great parts on it. And it comes with Redline flights and $700. You know, that's a lot of money back in the 80s. But it's a very, very cool bike. All right, let's keep going. The mighty BMXA. Foot in the mouth predictions for 1986. And they're talking about all the pros. Pete Lonkarovich, Greg Hill, Ronnie Anderson. Well, let's start again. Pete Lonkarovich was on Haro, new ride. He just got on Haro. Greg Hill still running GHP. Scarfed on 4 #1 plates in 85, so he was killing it in 85. Ronnie Anderson, 09, dominates whenever he races. And he had no major ride at the time. He was getting back from 09, but no major ride. Tommy Brackens was on GT. He was the long shot. Gary Ellis was on Huffy. Gary Rips, definitely underrated. I don't know. What's crazy, they said he was underrated when he turned out to be one of the greatest BMX pros ever. Sean Texas on CW. Sean did great last year without a sponsor. Now he's got CW on him. I'm not reading it all. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to go quickly. We got Richie Anderson. He's now on Skyway. Last year's Rookie of the Year. Richie will be in there. So that's pretty awesome. You see him racing on Skyway in the Rad movie. And, oh, I just got a great idea. I should review the Rad movie. Oh, I'm doing that, guys. I'm going to do that. Okay, let's keep going. Harry Larry was on Diamondback. Of course, he was on Diamondback. Harry has improved a lot. We say he'll be a comeback surprise in 86. And Stu Thompson is also on Huffy, and that was along with teammates with Gary Ellis. The man injuries took their toll on him last year, but at age 27, he's still capable of beating anyone. It's weird how they considered him old at 27, and I know that pro BMX racing is kind of a young man sport. I'm not a dummy, but at the same time, at 27, that seems pretty young because you're looking at Joris Gaudet. I mean, he's like 31, 32, I think. I think 31. He's killing it still. And I believe that Connor Fields, he's retired now, but he's like 30, and he's still very, very fast. I think he just retired for health reasons for the most part. Let's go. Eric Roop, kind of underrated. Consistent, but not in the high digging group. Oh, that's weird. Eric Roop has also got the most longevity out of most of these guys, although most of them have come back to race. Turnell Henry got a mention. Todd Blazer, Didi Leone. Turnell Henry's on KHS. Todd Blazer on ELF. Didi Leone on Vector. Rich Zagers on profile and Matt Harris on MCS. So this is really cool. I love to go back and look at this stuff. It's very, very interesting to me because looking at these magazines now is it's basically our history books. Because there is no history books for BMX racing. But hey, this is where it's all at. All right, let's keep moving. We got a flight ad here. Now we're getting away from the checkers, as you notice, guys. It's like first in the early 80s, checkers was really, really big. And now you're seeing a lot of the neon colors starting to take effect. That started to become kind of the new rage. All right, let's keep moving. Oh, look at that. We got a Schwinn Predator here. Pretty nice ad. I'm not sure who the writer is in this ad. Is that Mike Polson? I would imagine that would be my best guess that that was Mike Polson. I'm not too entirely sure, but this is a great ad. Full page ad. I love it. The bike looks super clean. I love that smoked chrome look on it. Really reminiscent of the Diamondback Turbo. So really cool. I like the Schwinn colors, by the way. Gear pants, very well put together. All right, Haro Group 1 RS1. They're testing it. And once again, I saw this, had to have the bike. I remember talking to my mom and go, Mom, I really, really, really want this. And he's like, you got to talk to your father. I talked to my dad, and he goes, you're not going to have two race bikes. So if you want to get a new one, you have to sell your old one. So I was like, oh man, I had to sell my beloved Skyway to get it. But I sold it, and I put the money towards this, and Mom paid the difference. And yeah, the rest is history. I rode that bike for a few years until I changed it. All right, let's keep going. Here we go. They're testing it right here. Dave Cullinan on it, doing a one-hander. Looks really cool. Love that picture. And we're going to swing on over here. And here's the different levels of the of the Haro race bikes. You got the RS3, the RS2, and the RS1 is the top of the line. What I noticed is that I was at a race in Reno in 1986. Mike King, he had a red and chrome one, and he was having, some girl was pushing it, and he was walking behind her, and I looked at it going, damn, that bike's bad. What is that? I didn't know what it was yet. And then later on in magazines, I noticed that Mike was riding one that was red and white instead of the basic red, black, and chrome, which would be the RS1. I don't know if his frame was actually a Haro, but I remember him in magazines. Maybe we'll see it later on in other reviews, but that's pretty cool. Look at that. They're jumping a Toyota 4x4. I wanted those. One of those went back in the day. All right, let's go back. That's a great picture. As you can see, these guys did a great job at promoting the bike. You see it in the magazine. It looks beautiful. You've got to get your hands on it, and I fell for it. I went right into it. Cullinan getting crazy on it right away. Apparently, he did this right away. It says, you know how it is when you get a new bike, you can't wait to see what it'll do. We weren't even at the test site for 1 minute before Dave was trying to clear the telephone poles. Next time, put on a helmet, dude. That's crazy. And what's really weird is when I did take delivery on this bike, and I took it to my local place to jump, because I did that before I raced it. I rode it several times. I was comfortable on it right away. But I will say this, I did notice there was a noticeable difference in the weight compared to my Skyway, because my Skyway had no top wheels on it. I was just running rims on it. It definitely felt lighter than this bike, but this bike felt much more stiff, and I felt much faster on it. It was a brand new bike, what are you going to do? Oh, look at this great picture. That is awesome. RL's like dive bombing on this thing. That is sweet. Let's keep going, guys. Oh, here we go. Got a mud splash. I think this thing on the top of his head is a Walkman. Man, we just did not have the technology, back then. But he had his Walkman on top, strapped on the top of his helmet so he could listen to music while he was riding. That's really awesome. And then here's some more specs about the bike. Well done. This stem, I'm going to tell you guys something about this stem. This is a very, very good stem. What happened eventually, I moved from the Haro onto like a PK Ripper later, and the stem, I kept it. And what I had to do to get the color off the stem, because eventually I cracked the frame on the Haro. So the stem, it was like a baby blue, and I wanted to use it for the PK Ripper, because the PK Ripper was like a dark red, almost a maroon color. So I had to take off the paint with some paint remover and just left it silver, put it on the new frame. And I got to tell you though, this never slipped. Never slipped. It held, the bars always stayed in position. I went from a tough neck stem that was on my Skyway, and then when I got this bike, it had this stem on it, and the quality of it was, I'm not gonna say the quality and craftsmanship was better, but it held better. Like the bars literally never slipped. I would say that today. That was a great stem. I remember this brake set here. I totally remember. I love the color combination with the colors in the front, and then it faded to chrome in the back. Beautiful. Oh, check it out. Kuwahara Freestyle. Freestyle's booming, man. Like all these major companies had to move over and make freestyle bikes because that was the rage. And if you watch the beginning of Rad, it's all freestyle at the beginning. You know, of course the movie's about racing, but it was all freestyle at the beginning. And so if you were not selling freestyle bikes as a major manufacturer, you're going to be falling behind. That's why I think all these companies got involved with that. Ooh, what do we got here? Action BMX Cycle Company. All right. Man, this is kind of like going on Amazon for us when we were kids. You know, you got all these parts. Notice a lot of freestyle, lots of freestyle, very little BMX racing stuff, but very, very cool. You know, needless to say. Look at the order form, guys. Just cut it out, write in here what you want. So basic, but you mail this in with a check, your stuff comes back. I mean, it worked, you know. What are you going to say? Let's keep moving. Hutch Hollywood series, star treatment starring Mike Miranda and Hutch Hollywood series frames and forks in pink, baby blue, violet, and futuristic black. Wow. These things are beautiful looking. Wow, Mike could jump, man. I'll tell you what, that guy had so much style. I remember looking at Mike Miranda in a lot of magazines thinking, man, that guy's so stylish, you know? This race picture of him is great. Look at that. I love the Haro B1B or whatever this was. I forgot. But with the big numbers on it like that, we've kind of gotten away from that now. But it looks really cool. We got Rockville BMX jamming into the new year. Once again, you see a lot of freestyle, man. A lot of freestyle. That was the stuff. Oh, here we go, guys. The ABA Grands. Only at the ABA Grands. Oh, wow. And this is still in Oklahoma. It's still the biggest race of the year. And here's the big difference now between 1986 and now it's 2023. And over the last few years, I don't have to wait so much for a magazine to come out to show me the results at the Grands. And I would look forward to seeing the pictures from the Grands. And it usually would take a month or so after the Grands before you would see it. Now you can watch the Grands live streaming right there on YouTube. It's amazing. It's actually now part of my tradition for Thanksgiving. I go, okay, it's Thanksgiving morning. Let's turn on YouTube and let's start watching the Grands. And I watched it all the way up until the Pro Spectacular, which is amazing to watch. So it is a lot of fun to watch it now. Although I still appreciate having to look through the magazines at all the great pictures. All right, here we go. We got some race action here. And oh, look at this picture of Gary Ellis. How cool is that, guys? That's awesome. On Huffy, everything just looks perfect. That's a beautiful shot of him. Okay, let's keep moving, guys. I'm not going to read everything again, obviously, because this takes a little bit longer than I would like. Oh, look at this race action. These are the guys that are racing on Pro Cruiser. Man, it's weird seeing Harry on a cruiser back then. But here's all the big guys on the Pro Cruisers. No more Pro Cruiser. That's a thing of the past. Look at Mike King is on Huffy. Man, Huffy snaked up everybody. Oh no, that's Brent Romero. I'm sorry. Yeah, Brent Romero was a beast. And then, oh, check it out, April Fools. And let's read about this. Says it all. Haro brought Pete for the weekend. CW was none the wiser. So he was racing factory CW. Came in all full factory Haro. That's crazy. All right, let's keep moving. Oh, this is a great picture of Charles Townsend. Sometimes I forget that Charles Townsend was on Free Agent because when I think of Charles Townsend, I think Hutch, Robinson. I think of that. You know, I don't. It's hard. I've seen it. He was on Diamondback. He's been on a lot of great teams, and this is where it all started for him. It was on Free Agent. I think he went to Hutch after this. And look at guys, the magazine is ripped. Oh no, We'll never know what was on this page. Sorry about that, guys. Oh, let's look at the winnings for the pros, though. Ronnie Anderson won. He got $5,705. Harry Larry came in second. He picked up $4,020. Pete Lonkarovich came in third. He picked up $3,370. Eddie King in fourth, $3,325. Richie Anderson picked up $3,235 as well for fifth. Stu Thompson picked up $3,060. Gary Ellis $2,400, $2,480 for seventh. Rob Fade picked up $2,020 for eighth. Man, Brian Patterson got ninth, I guess. How do you get ninth? Maybe that was out of the top finishers in the semis, or I don't know. 1975 for that, and Tommy Bracken's 1565. Unless this is their payout for being. Oh, you know what this is, guys? I believe this is their payout for their rankings, I guess. I don't think it has to do with how they finished. That's pretty good. To be in the top 10, you get $1,500, $5,000 for being in first. I think it's more like $15,000 now. But yeah, not much has changed money-wise, though, and sadly enough. All right, let's keep moving around here. Look at Dave Clinton. I think he went into the Hall of Fame right here, 1986. He's a youngster here still. Now the Hall of Fame is huge. I really want to go to Oklahoma just to go see that new Hall of Fame. I saw some of it on YouTube, and it looks great, and I've seen pictures on Facebook. People post up a lot of stuff. I definitely want to go and look at that. Now look at CW's in the mix now. You got freestyle on this side, and you got all your racing action over here on this side. And I had a CW for a little while. Yeah, I'd never liked the seat post stay right here, part of the frame. It's at this weird, it's like at an extreme angle like that. It's I didn't really like the way it looked that much, but the bike itself rode okay. I raced it for a little while until I changed that out too. Okay, we got the bike gallery. Look at these wheel covers. This looks like the wheel style on my Fiero. The original wheels, they were cut like that. That's really weird. I never noticed that before. And then, of course, we got R.L. Osborne. Aha, they are Peregrine. I was right. Yeah, I mean, he moved from Skyway to Peregrine. I wonder how much money he got to switch over the wheels like that. Because Skyway basically always dominates kind of the mag style wheel. But that's a different look for him. But it's all about the money, man. All about the money. Okay, let's keep going. Oh, look at, now he's on rims. They made wheels too. Now let's get your honest opinion on this, guys. What do you guys think? Does it look better with the tough wheel styles on it, or with the spoked wheel? I think it looks great both ways. So that's pretty clean though. All right, let's keep going. Oh, First Class BMX. I remember actually ordering some stuff from these guys. You can get a GT frame and fork for $138.95. A Hutch Pro for $138.95 as well. Not bad. All the frames were pretty much under $100. I see the RL Redline RL20 was it's a combo set though. Comes with wheels. $319. But not bad. Not bad at all. Man, I need to put some glasses on or something, guys. It's hard to read all this tiny print. All right, here we go. Oh, that's a really clean GT frame right there. Oh, I like that. Simple, clean, does the job. Anatomy of a Winner GT Performance Parts. So clean. Look at these GT tires. That's pretty cool. These hubs are amazing looking. I always like those. That's really cool. Frankfurt BMX. A lot of bike shops were still in the mix. You know, that's awesome. Oh, here we go. The 1986 Nora Cup winner, Mike Miranda. Awesome. Look at it. Look at the colors on the uniform, man. So 80s. Gotta love it. Down to the Vans. That's awesome. Looks like Diamondback won the Nora Cup for best team. And I love their colors. Look like the Raiders or something. That's so cool. Love it. Looks like the bike of the year is this Hutch. #1 rider, #1 bike. Hutch was pleased to punch about scarfing up the #1 bike again. And it's interesting that it was a freestyle bike that they posted in there. Let's keep going. Oh, wow. These are all the top 10 86 BMX Action Nora Cup final standings. And so Mike Miranda won it at 12. He got 12.02% of the votes. And Greg Hill was right behind him at 11.97%. Wow, Tommy Bracken's got 11.52. I think Tommy ends up winning it like the year before. I think he won it, or the year after. And I know Greg's got a couple of them. But these are all the big guys in the sport. Mike Miranda, Greg Hill, Tommy Brackens, Pete Lunkarevich, Timmy Judge, Ronnie Anderson, Harry Leary, Eddie King, Eddie Fiola. Oh wow, freestyler, and then Eric Roop. Number one team: Diamondback, Hutch, GT, Redline, CW, Schwinn, Huffy, Skyway. Skyway and Huffy tied for seventh, Mongoose and GHP, and then the number one bikes: Hutch, GT, Diamondback, Redline, CW, Haro, Skyway, Schwinn, Mongoose, GHP. Wow, but man, Hutch won. 31% of the votes went to Hutch, with GHP getting 1.60% of the votes. And that's the difference between first and 10th. Man, Hutch was like seriously dominating, which I'm not too surprised by that because a lot of people were riding Hutches back then. I mean, I saw a lot of Hutches back in those days. You got your Hall of Fame. Nora Cup riders. 1986 was Mike Miranda. 85 was Greg Hill. 84 was Greg Hill. 83 was Greg Hill. Now, some time ago, Pool Magazine was ranking some of the greatest riders of all time, and they put Greg Hill kind of further down the list than I really thought he deserved to be. And I was surprised by that because this guy just dominated. Look, 85 he got the Nora Cup. 84 he got the Nora Cup. 83 he got the Nora Cup. I don't know if you need to say much more than that. 82 Steve Thompson got it. 81 Brent Patterson. 80 Stu Thompson got it again. In 1979 Bobby Encinas. Nora Cup teams. Ooh, look at Diamondback. They won it in 86. They won it in 85. They won it in 84. They won it in 83. Man, that's pure domination. 1982 Redline got it. 81 Redline got it. 1980 Mongoose got it, and 1979 Shimano got it. Surprised Mongoose doesn't have more, because Mongoose is kind of like the originator of the first true BMX bike. So I'm kind of surprised they didn't have more, but that's really cool. And man, I can't believe I don't remember any of this stuff. Nora Cup bicycles, Hutch won it in 86, Hutch won it in 85, Hutch won it in 84, and then GT won it in 83. So this is really cool. I'm glad I pulled this. And of course, the stickers, we've talked about that before. We were all happy about the stickers back then. All right, what do we got here? We got another Peregrine Master Sport, only genuine graphite composite wheels. They're pushing their wheels. I wonder how Skyway felt about this. They're like, man, that's basically our design. All you did was put a kink in it. And it's basically us, but, competition is healthy. We got some Yukai ads, Suzui, and then some more freestyle goodies from Odyssey. And let's just keep moving on. Ooh, this is where they're testing the Schwinn, not a flash in the pan. This must be a Schwinn Predator. Yeah, Schwinn Predator. This is a great photo, though. Look at that photo. He must have got right up on him when he was doing this power slide here. That's a beautiful shot. Henderson had a blast. Wendy thought she had the cookie, whatever that means. But that's a great picture. All right, let's keep moving. Oh, wow. Look at that, guys. Again, not a freestyle guy, but you got to appreciate how beautiful this picture is. This is so well done. We got the Toby Henderson doing that 1-footer move. This is his signature jump, I believe. Oh, this is not a bad bike. Again, it's got the CW style handlebars. Now, in my opinion, in 1986, the CW style handlebar was starting to kind of phase out a little bit. It wasn't as popular as it was, in my opinion, because I used the CW handlebars for a while, but eventually switched back over to a regular handlebar. And I ran the CW bars for a while. I think on my Skyway, I had the CW bars on it, and then I switched over to Boss handlebars. And I really love the Boss bars, by the way. I actually went back to those later. And then I got the Haro. So I switched over to the Haro handlebars. But anyway, let's keep on moving. Another freestyle ad. This one's for Mongoose. Guys, we're running out of magazine already. This is great. Yeah, it's about right, though. Usually takes me about a half hour to go through a magazine. And these are just all ads, skateboard ads. And then we got another Hanter 777, freestyle company, another freestyle bike. Midwest National BMX, another bike shop. Oh, check this out. Crossed-footed nose endo and hip whip. Martin Aparijo. Look at that. Oh, I did it backwards. Bam, bam, bam. That's so awesome. This guy is still riding, and he's still really just as good. I watch him on YouTube a lot. He pops up a lot. Him and Eddie Fiola are always doing stuff together, and he could still ride. Oh, wow. Check this out. Let's start from over here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Look at that. And then he rolls out of it. Really clean. I could never really do tricks, guys. I was horrible at it. Like, the only thing I ever really mastered is I could do a curb and dough really cool. And I can kick it out all the way over to the curb. And that's about it. I can sit on the handlebars and ride backwards. I just couldn't, that was about all I can do besides a wheelie. I wasn't really big on tricks, but doing freestyle tricks is impressive. If you're trying to impress your friends and you can do a bunch of tricks, it looked really cool. Oh, subscribe to BMX Action, $15.50 for 12 killer issues. You got the CW team on the cover of that. That's really cool. Very, very cool. $15, man. BMX Action. And you know what? I never really subscribed to this. I used to just go buy it. I'd run into drugstores, liquor stores, wherever, and go right to the magazine rack and find my magazine and take it home. That was how I did it. And that's about it, guys. We got a little Ronnie Anderson interview over here, which we don't have time to read. 86 USBA schedule. They had a full-on schedule. Okay. Rockville BMX. $25 for a pair of Vans. $35 for the high tops. Now, this is funny because my daughter worked at Zoomies, and we went into the store. Shoot, I was yesterday, and I was looking at the Vans, and I was admiring these. They still have them, guys. $65. I think that was the price for them, if I remember right. I'm like, golly, for a pair of Vans, what happened? All right, here's Ronnie Anderson here in this photo. This looks like it's the Grands. Yeah, who won pro? Let's find out. Okay, Pete Lonkarovich took the win. Ronnie Anderson came in second. They were huge rivals. Eddie King came in third. Brian Patterson fourth. Richie Anderson fifth. Brian Pascal sixth. George Stewart seventh. And Turnell Henry finished eighth. Not bad. Pro Open, Didi Leone won the Pro Open. Brian Patterson came in second. Matt Harris third. Lonnie Moore fourth. Jeff Rumanier fifth. Turnell Henry sixth. Richie Anderson seventh. And Toby Henderson took eighth. That's pretty cool. Pro Cruiser, Ronnie Anderson won Pro Cruiser. Toby Henderson took second. Rob Fate third. Todd Slavic fourth. George Goodall. Wow. I remember him from Rail to Berm. I love that podcast. I'm so sad it's gone now. Turnell Henry came in sixth. Matt Harris seventh. And then Harry Larry eighth. And man, they must have been racing Pro Cruisers to grab some of that money, because there was a lot of money back then for these guys. But Ronnie Anderson, on Facebook the other day, somebody had posted some pictures of him racing in Reno, and I commented, I said, man, I was at that race, Ronnie, and I remember telling my cousin, nobody's going to beat this guy today. He's just going way too fast. And he said, oh man, I had a great weekend. He said he tripled both days, and him and his dad just drove up by themselves, and he had a great weekend that weekend. It was cool that he actually commented to my comment, so I got to chat with him for like 2 seconds. And then here we go. We got another ad for GT BMX. A lot of freestyle in here. And I'm watching the guy from Rad BMX Builds. He builds a lot of these. He's got a lot of freestyle bikes. But I have to give him credit. He does a lot of race bikes too. And you guys should watch that. I definitely recommend that too. And then that's it. And we got an outtake from the Predator test. And that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. 33 minutes, man. Not too bad. This was a great magazine. Had a lot of fun with this one. I'll get this all edited up and posted. As always, guys, thanks for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe, and I look forward to doing another magazine soon. I'll see you guys later.